Hi guys, Christine here, and I have a video today that's sort of a mishmash of ideas and materials, and I wanted to share with you what I've been up to. So as many of you know, I've had some hand things that have made it nearly impossible to actually physically make things, but I'm improved, and so we've started to mess around again. So I'm pretty excited. My video making skills are a little lacking because I haven't made a real video in a while, so bear with me if it seems a little bit out of order. The material is good. It's fun ideas that I think you can take and do great things with. So in the video, I introduced some new kits I have, and many of which I use in the video, but you don't have to. You can use any papers you like. What we're dealing mainly with is creating vellum, so that you take something like this and make it that. And I am so enchanted by it. It's not my normal way of doing it. It's new, and I talk about that. So this was the original, and this is what I wound up with. Oop, little fleck there. So this is opaque, and this is transparent. So that's the main thrust, but there are also some other tips that you'll get from me on like how to cut a nice interior rounded corner window. And I make a tag. You can almost skip that part. I don't do anything that you don't do. But here you can see I have this little vellum envelope in two different designs. One's got aged paper around it, and one is pure white, you know, unprinted or black and white. And you can put your little cards in them. And I talk about that. Oh, these ruffles made again with paper that has been vellumized, including dictionary paper. So that's what I'm talking about, those sorts of things, how to use different techniques with the vellum, like this, for example, that looks really almost white until you actually lay it on something, and then the back side comes through. So lots of fun things. I hope you'll have a look and get some ideas. If you have any questions, definitely holler. I'm back. I'm ready and excited, and I've got so much to do because I'm so behind. So thank you for being here, and I will see you on the other side. Hi friends, Christine here. And I hope you all had a great Thanksgiving. I'm filming this just a few days later. We had a very nice day, even though the oven and the turkey colluded into being ready 90 minutes before I expected. That's okay, it all worked out. So today I'm goofing around with some homemade vellum, and I've always done it with a candle and melted candle wax, and there's a video I'll link to that I've already done on this. But I wanted to try the baby oil version, so that's what I'm doing today. And I have a couple of different iterations of these printouts, so I want to see what the effect is. And what I learned about baby oil is it's really just mineral oil with fragrance added. So if you have mineral oil that you might have from, conditioning cutting boards and such, I would try that. In fact, I'm going to try that. So all I have here is a printout on super ultra cheap copy paper, or at least, maybe a slight step above the most cheap copy paper. And I put some freezer paper behind it, just to not be too messy on my already abused Fisker's cutting board, or cutting mat. I'm going to open this up, and from what I hear, and again, I've always done it with wax, all you have to do is put some baby oil on a soft, could be fabric, could be this. I'm using a paper towel. Sorry, I'm having word issues today. I'm just going to keep rubbing. And let's see if we can't get this to become perfectly lovely and translucent. So rub, rub, rub. All right. Half of it looks pretty good. This side looks like it needs... Oh, whoops. Well, there you go. I just hit my other papers. All right. So, let's try that. Right on here. We're going big. All right, go big or go home. So let me move these. My other experiments have already been sullied by baby oil. Okay, so I'm going to turn this over. And here we go, back. Now my paper towel is kind of really wet right now, and I feel like the paper has plenty of oil on it, so I am going to trade it in for a clean one, or semi-clean one, and continue the rubbing. And clearly, we can see that it works because this is beautiful and translucent now, but I feel like I have too much on it, so I'm going to another and remove as much as I can now that it has penetrated the paper. And then of course we'll let it dry and we'll see what's what. Alright, already I can tell you I love it. Let's see. Okay, so let me just grab something else here. Here, grab this. And you can see just how beautiful and translucent that is, particularly over the empty white areas of the paper, but even the filled in paper. So now this is a little oily, as you can guess. I'm going to take one more shot at getting our surface oil off. And now I'm going to put it on my handy little dollar store dryer that you saw my short of. All right, so then my next test was this printed floral chintz. And I'm going to not shoot it across the room, I swear. See, I've never had a baby, so I don't know like how this stuff comes out of the bottle. All right, so now same thing, just rub, rub, rub. So I don't know what you guys are all up to going into the winter holidays or the summer holidays for my other hemisphere friends. The holidays in general. I'm pretty excited about it. I always am. I am married to Mr. Christmas, so yeah, I've never met a man who loves Christmas as much as this guy does, and who loves surprises and decorating and big fat trees, and he's put so much thought and effort into gift giving. It's a joy. And I'm also very Christmas driven, a Christmas enjoyable Christmas. I enjoy Christmas, I guess. I'm sorry. It's just like, what's wrong with me? But I still don't take it to the place he does. And the idea that this man is so patient and will shop and do research and find perfect things that I don't even know I want. One year he surprised me with a microscope. And I'd be honest, when I opened it up, I thought, why is this guy giving me a microscope? But then there was also a digital camera that came with it, so I could take photos of microscopic things, which is something anyone who knows me knows I would love to do, but frankly, I'd never thought of it. All right, getting a little chatty here, but there's takes a lot of rubbing to get all this oil in here. And this just looks so beautiful. I'm in love. All right, so same thing. I'm going to keep wiping it now because it has penetrated and it's still super greasy. Should probably change my freezer paper. Get something clean and dry. But let me try this once more with a drier sheet of paper towel. All right, so now that is also quite beautiful and needs to dry. And again, it's super oily still. So I'm going to try and sop it up a little bit more. All right, much better. There we go. All right, back into the dryer. Onto the drying rack with you. Okay, so then the next one I was doing was this page, which again has already gotten a little oil on it. But I'm going to speed this up. Oh. And then just show you the results of each different printout and why I tried the ones I did. So I will be back. So this one I'm doing is white print, black and white print on one side, but a floral on the back. And I'm really interested in how this interacts with the oil penetrating from both sides and having different images on each. And I can tell you already, this is the magic I was looking for. Oh my gosh. This is like perfect. I know I could be squirting this stuff onto here, but oh my gosh. So I've been having a kind of Art Deco morning. All my designs seem to have that vibe. And I'm really interested, I'm going to vellumize the labels, but I'm also very interested in this sheet. It's one of my newer patterns, and I printed it on regular copy paper, sort of cheap. And I'll be using baby oil. I could use mineral oil because after my extensive research of reading the label, discovered that baby oil is simply mineral oil with fragrance added. So either one will do. I'm using this because that's what's nearest the work table. All right, so this should be interesting. I'm really looking forward to seeing what happens with all this black and yellow. Hi, Savannah. Thank you for getting up now. She's been sleeping this whole time. It wasn't until I started talking to people who aren't even here, that she decided she needed to get up. All right, so as expected, the black isn't, of course, becoming very translucent because it's black. But I'm hoping that as I rub more, that the light areas will become translucent. And my thinking is I'd like to be able to see through all the little shield parts here. Or at least, you know, a little bit. Just enough to make it feel special. I'm going to have the softest hands on the planet with all of this oil I've been using the last couple of days. All right, let's see. All right, well, it is translucent in this area. And I'm going to grab another piece of paper towel so I can sop up my excess. Oh, this is giving me ideas. This is giving me ideas. All right, so get this back a little bit more. It makes the paper such a wonderful texture. All right, this is still really oily. Let me sop up some more. Much better. And it will now take, I give them like a day to dry, a full day. But let's see what it looks like. Yeah, you can see through the white areas, which is what I expected. So that makes this a really nice paper for a lot of things. I think I know what I'm going to do with it, hence the ideas. And I think what I'm going to try next is a pattern where this part is actually brighter white, so you do see through it more crisply, more clearly. But I absolutely love the treatment and making this otherwise cheesy piece of copy paper now feel like a two-sided, scrumptious piece of paper. Almost like it's vellum, but it's not. So I'm going to set this one aside and play around a little bit more. So the first thing, now that I have my page here and it has 4 different floral chintz patterns and 2 plaids, and these coordinate with these, simply going to slice them apart. Okay, So now I've got my strips. I'm going to take them over to the sewing machine. I left them a little bit wide in the design. You could always come in and trim them tighter, but I wanted enough room to add some lace, maybe trim them afterward, and so that's why they're the width that they are. So I'll just take them all to the sewing machine. So here's how I make my ruffles. And I'm using 2 strips of almost the same size paper because I'm going to join them together because I want to make a strip long enough, a ruffle long enough to edge a full side of the page. So basically, I stick my paper in beneath the presser foot. I've got my machine set on straight stitch at about a length of 3. And basically, using my awl, because it's easier, I make a little fold. And let's start sewing. And then as I go, I just make more folds. And you can see I don't go very straight. I try and make them a little bit wonky with varying widths. And so I hope you can see this. So I think I'm going to make that one a little bit more crooked, and let's change the direction a little bit. There we go. And this one can go a little bit more straight. And this one can go a little more this way. And again, you can make the ruffle as thick or thin as you want. And when you get to the end, let's see, here, we are nearing the end, so we want to add some. So I want to add more, a larger fold here so that the paper can catch more. So I'm going to do this again, but bigger. There we go. And then, I don't usually have to do that, but I noticed that there was hardly any fold there, and I want enough gather of paper there to keep this paper in securely. So then continue and begin again. And there we have a lovely long ruffle that can etch an entire book page, almost a spread actually. So if I wanted to, I could add more and then do a whole spread. So now I'm going to add some ribbon to it, and I think I'm going to use my favorite, which is this. Now a lot of people do this at the same time. I tend to not, because I like to see the ribbon first and see, well, what colors are in it. And actually looking at this, I wish I had something pinker. Let me see if I have something pinker. So I found this, and I think I want to use this instead. Makes it very romantic. And I know this ribbon is kind of a pain to sew on, but I'm going to use it anyway and see if we can't just coerce it into behaving. All right, so basically I just cover up the original line of stitching and stitch basically over it. So here we have it. Really cute, very fluffy, girly, romantic ribbon page edge. Hey friends, Christine here, and today I'm just going to mess around with some tag making and pocket making and share with you some of the ways and methods that I have for doing some of this. Now, one thing you need to be warned about is I'm going to be using a lot of vellum paper or vellumized paper. I was recently reintroduced to it by Kylie at Me and Mr. Evans. I'll leave a link. You might have seen I have in the past done vellum-like finish on paper by using a wax candle and simply melting the wax. But she had talked about doing using baby oil, which I then tried recently, and I have to tell you, I pretty much loved it. It's very, very different than doing the candle, and has some great results. So here are some coffee stained tags. This is part of a kit I haven't yet launched. It happens. that I tried it. This is plain copy paper. I'll show you the method, you know, actually using the baby oil. This is an interesting one because this one was simply, these are Art Deco numbers, and they printed on a single page, and this one is printed on cheap copy paper that I then did the baby oil to. And this one is printed on 110-pound index, and what I did was I printed the label image on one side, and then I added an image on the second side. I printed on the second side so that when I baby oiled it, it came out really cool. I mean, it looks opaque on one side because that will happen if you have really dark things. It's not going to become transparent. It's going to stay dark. But I don't know if you could see that in the little white areas, you can see through them. But the flower area is so tiny, you'd never really know it. And then here's another good example of doing a dark image. I printed this design on cheap copy paper, and I baby oiled it, and then it came through to the other side. So that's really cool. It's kind of like making it two-sided. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do with this. And I probably will release just a bunch of papers. I'm into a chintz mood, so I'm making a lot of chintzy things. And so I'm probably going to release some of the patterns I've been doing. And this was one. This was an envelope I did on HP Premium 32, which is thicker, you know, 32-pound paper, so it's a little thicker. So you can see through it, but it's really as opaque. But you can see the pattern on the other side of the paper. So I made this envelope, and I really like it. And you have to remember, too, that how this feels is so different than the original paper. It's really kind of amazing. This guy's a little stuck in there because the card has a tear in it, so it gets caught up. There we go. Anyway, so I'll show you how I'll show you how I cut this out easily. And one of the envelopes I did, I don't have it here. I don't have the printout of it here, but I made an envelope, and I left this window in, and I vellumized it so it was see-through like this. And then I thought I would test it, so I mailed it to myself. And it actually got here. So you can see this is paper that's now, it's full. It's the labels on the inside, on a card on the inside. And the interesting thing is it has become more opaque. When I took it out of my mailbox 2 days, 3 days after I mailed it from one town to another. And it was already this much more opaque, like it had evaporated or dried or something. Anyway, I still got it. I love my post office. They do everything possible to get you your mail. But I just mentioned that because there's no reason why you couldn't use an envelope like this and have the address on the inside. But if it's something really important, I don't know if I would do it. I was thinking of this for my Christmas card envelope, and I still may use it. I'm deciding. So then what else did I do? Oh my gosh, so many things. Okay, so then these are, let me get these in a row. I should have tightened it up a little. These are new French labels that I just posted. And these are the aged paper versions, and then there are some white versions, black and white ink saver versions, but only on my Ko-fi shop. So you'd have to go there to buy them, but you can get them only in white and black. And so I printed it that way on regular copy paper. Uh-oh. Sounds like we have an emergency vehicle coming. And here it is, same thing, but using the aged paper versions. Let me hold on. It always makes me so sad when an emergency vehicle goes by. So here, same thing. I printed them in black and white on one side, and then I printed chintz on the back, and then I used the baby oil method. And I mean, it really is very, very pretty, and it's so delicate on the front, the way it just really pops through. Here's another one that I really like, that method of printing it on two sides. Now somewhere, I think here is they're printed on one side, like just done. And I really prefer when it's gentler, but we all have our own thing. Here's an old piece of book paper, and let me get something to make it white on. There we go. So you can see it, and you can see right through it, almost like onion skin paper. It's really beautiful. This was 110-pound index. That's another kit I'm working on. Okay, so here's another one of the envelopes where I printed it black and white on one side and then printed the chintz on the back and then gave it the baby oil treatment. This is masking paper like that painters use. Where is it? Here. This will show you. Okay, this is what it was. This is where it started. And after I oiled it up, that's where it is. And it feels like, oh, vintage bag paper. So I'm planning to print some things on here and do it and make little bags, but I haven't done that yet. And I will mention that this paper took a long time to dry, and it probably took a day, a full day, before I felt like I could do something with it. And then the most fun thing I had was with making these ruffles. Now this is chintz paper that I created and baby oiled or mineral oiled. You can use either. And then I sewed all of these little ruffles. This one I did with, dictionary. And same thing though, I love how it feels transparent and just a little bit different by using the baby oil method. So I show you in another section of the video how to do the ruffles and how to do the baby oil. But I thought what I would do, oh, here's some stamps, is just make some tags, and I'm going to do it in a very un-Christine way. I'm not going to plan. So I'm going to start with, let's see, I'm going to start with these. Now, if you follow me on Ko-fi, you know that every week I upload, oh, here's one of my favorites. Every week I upload a free piece of ephemera, whatever it might be. So this past week was actually 3 pieces. It was Chicago, San Francisco, and Boston ephemera as a pack. And they did not have the oil stains on them. That's because I've been messing around and I didn't clean up after myself before I started again. So let's just make a tag. Let's see what we could do with some of this stuff. All right, so I'm going to find my scissors. And I think I'm going to use this part. I'm going to just fold it. Because this is a 110-pound index and I like my tags beefier. So I'm going to fold it and then glue it closed. All right, so we have this. I really like this part. So I'm going to keep that part. I'm going to make this a little bit narrower and cut off the white edge a little bit better. There we go. And then, I don't know, just go here. Oh, that wasn't even crooked. I mean, that wasn't even straight. And not that everything has to be straight, but that was really not straight. All right, so now, let me see. I've got, this is part of a set, little affirmations with dates. So you'll find lots of things. This is a fun one too, that's online, that you can find now. Let's see whatever should we do? Oh wait, I want to show you one other thing. This is ugly green ledger paper, you know, the kind that you can buy now. Then I printed chintz over it and oiled it up, and it came out really beautifully. And this too, I printed it but only had it print on part of the paper, so this showed up. So again, think more creatively. Start thinking about, well, what can I do, and experiment a little bit. So that's all. Let me put that back. And what else? I guess that's all I wanted to show you. So back to my tag. All right, what should I make with this? So it's kind of a light color. So I feel like it needs something added, something darker. Could add that. That's way dark. Here, I'm going to take a scrap of this. And I'm just going to take a scrap too. And, oh, I kind of like that side as well. Well, no, I want the blue. But I don't want it to cover this up too much because I like that. So I'm just going to tear off all the edges to make it more scrappy. And then I need to make this a little more narrow. Could make this into a little pocket too, but I think I just want it scrappy. And now I need to make those edges not quite so eek. So let's find. Ooh, that's too black. That's better. It can look old and scrungy. Now, if I had torn the paper the other way, I could have. Maybe I'll do that. No, I like it. I'm gonna leave it like that. Okay, so now we have this and this. That's another kit online. Put this here. I could run, yeah, no, I like that there. I feel like it needs something else. Could use a stamp. I could use one of these little date guys. That's kind of fun. Yeah, something as simple as that. Could also, let me go grab my little, yeah, let me grab this. I'm gonna stick this here. I'm just gonna put a hole in it like so, because then I'm going to poke it through with a brad, I think. All right, so I want to do that before I glue this up. So I'm going to decorate it all. And again, this is a really simple thing. I mean, this is just kind of free form. Let's make stuff. I have a few things. The stuff that's in my store now is for a new journal I'm creating that I'm really excited about. And for those of you who want to see an entire journal created basically from beginning to end, that is my next project. And I'm really going to be happy to share that with you. So I'm just going to stick this here. And then what? And then I thought I was going to put this here. Right? Yes. And then I was going to put this somewhere here. Maybe have it overlap a little. No, I'll have it go under a little. That's cute. All right, so this I'm just going to put on now. I'm going to do that with a little brad. Keep it on. Why are these double bagged? I don't know. So I hope you're all well and good and getting ready for all the various upcoming holidays. I'm pretty psyched. I did just post today a little short on, on the magnetic covered paper clips that I made. I think most of you probably have seen it by now. And I did them as an advent calendar, and the husband agreed to do it too, so it was really kind of a fun thing to start. And so go look at the shorts. I really hate doing shorts, but I did do it that way. Let me push this through. There we go. Actually, I think I might want it a little bit lower than that. Let me put it a little bit lower because I'm going to have that ruffle right there. Come here. All right, let's put this down here. Now, of course, it's not going to go through. There we go. And bend that back so that when I close this up, it'll be in here. Now I have so many of these. Let me just make sure that's the one I want to use. I think that one has too much blue in it. That's too matchy-matchy. Let's see. Kind of like this little guy. There's gold in it. And I also really like the dictionary one. I might just do that. Yes, I think I will. So I'm going to cut it here, get rid of that thread, and then say, all right, it's going to come to about here, and glue this on. I think I want to add something, I don't know, thready. Here, I could do this. All right, so I'm going to just bunch this up, take some thread, and stick it, I don't know, maybe right under there. It seems like too much, doesn't it? Yeah, a little bit. Trying to picture it. Less thread. I think I won't. We'll leave the thread for now. I'm gonna add this little ribbon of paper that has been made into vellum, and stick that down. Give it a second. All right, so it is kind of cute. Okay, so now I want to do these edges up. I want to at least round them, correct? Correct. You can argue with me if you want, but I'm doing it. So let's see, 1/2 inch, we'll do the big one. So I think for this one, I'm going to leave it just a square rounded corner tag. That's kind of fun. All right, so now that's, no, still drying. Those are not my adhesive scissors. I'm not quite sure where they are. They're buried. You can see this table. It's crazy. And I don't see my adhesive scissors, so I'm going to use the knife. I'm not using, these are pretty good scissors. I am not going to get glue all over them. There we go. Okay. All right, so now I feel like it needs, I don't know, a little label, something else, something popish. Here. Okay. I'm gonna cut this like so. Go. And then use corner rounder to clean up those edges. Looks like I could have used medium. Small. Small is a little small. Wonder if the medium is going to be too big. No, the medium is better. See, it's taken off all of that white. Perfectly. I don't know why I repeat myself. All right, so let's fix this up. Those edges. Yes, definitely get a little contrast here. Nice. Don't really need this honking glue, but there we go. Put that under there. What else? We have some nice stamps here we can add. Well, that definitely goes. I don't want to cover up this too much because I like it. So I want it little. So yeah, I think we'll use this stamp. I think this is from the bridal stamps. I don't know. I have so much stuff. And again, I'm using a lot of my own papers, but also a lot of, you know, just random papers, book pages and stuff. So of course, for any of this, you can use anything you want. And again, I cannot stress enough, go play around with the baby oil, because you'll find it works so differently on different things. So I'm going to give a little glue to here. And I'm going to stick it under this ruffle a little bit. There we go. Beautiful. Okay. So now, we could leave this open as no, we can't because I forgot I have my little brad thing in there. So I'm going to close this up now. I'm just going to do around the edge. And then a little bit in the middle. Okay. So the way this is, it could be a pocket, like we could just glue it down, and it's really very cute as that. So it could be that, or it could be a tag. I kind of like the pocket idea. I might just save it for later. But let me clean up. The other day I went out, I'd been working on things, and I went out and I didn't shut my inker, my ink pad, my big deluxe one. So it doesn't seem to have dried up too much. Something, it's kind of like closing the glue. You really don't want to leave it open for hours. Oh, this is sweet. Okay, so now, what does it need? It needs something, a ribbon or a grommet or something. Kind of in a grommet mood. A grommet. Should we do matchy matchy? No. No, that's actually not bad. Could also do red. No, that's too bright. Could do, there, we're going to do natural. Natural bronze. So I don't know what I might put back here. I feel like it wants something. Let me cut this off. But let's put this in, and then I'll figure out what might go on the other side. So I'm going to kind of line it up with what feels like the center. And then force this baby in because these are a little bit bigger. There we go. And here. Stick it back in and give it a squeeze. Cute. All right, you get the general idea that all this stuff can be used to make all sorts of things. And we could just leave something transparent on the back. Something like this. No, see, I should have done that. That would be fun. All right, well, I can still do it, but I shouldn't have put that in yet because then I could have put it through this one as well. But that's okay. I can put it on this way as a little pocket. And that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to cut this. It's going to be a little transparent pocket. Okay. So I usually like my pockets to have flaps, but this one I'm going to let just hang over, or just glue to the edge. I'm going to do it there to there, all along there, and then I'm going to recut. Well, I could probably do it now. Anyway, see, this is why I don't do a lot of these videos, because I just jabber on. So let me get the other glue. That I know is here. I just used it. It's probably fallen off somewhere, and it's, oh, there it is. Oh, and here are some more labels I can use. Nice little bright, cheerful. This set is in Etsy. This is it printed reduced. I printed, provided it larger originally, so you have some choices. But you can always reduce it in your printing. All right, so now I'm going to come with this. I find that this glue, when it wants to come out, does a nice job on the vellumized paper. I think the Tombow Aqua glue could also be a decent choice. But that's all the way in the other room. Okay, so I'm going to put this. I think I'm going to stick a little here. And then stick it on. And then I'll trim it up. Alright, so I'm going to just trim it square and stick it back in the chomper. I should be able to make those corners a little bit more attractive. There we go. Done. Who did not ink the corners? I mean, ink the edges. That's surprising. All right. So I can do that with a scrap of paper and my little anchor. All right. So there we have it. Now I'm going to put a ribbon or some string, something to be a tab for this. And then this is screaming for a little something in there. What do we got? What do we got? That stuff is all pretty translucent. Could do another little, no, that's overkill. So here, could be one of these. Yes, this could go, no, it's too big, so we have to cut this. Radiate positivity. So I'm just going to cut off the edges. Now this can go in here, like so. And that works perfectly. All right, so there's a tag. Pretty simple, pretty junk journal-y. You know, it's got lots of, oh, I have to round those corners. You know I have to round them. I can't let them stare at me like that. And of course, I also have to ink them up. So now I want to show you just a little trick for getting a good window in an envelope. Okay, so there's one of our little tags, and some of these longer ruffles I'm going to put on journal pages. So, you know, you've seen them. Something like that. Just run it right down the page. It's a really nice adornment, and I think that's what I'll do with a lot of the long ones. Okay, so now the envelope. Let's see, where is the envelope? Okay, so I let it get oily again. Apparently there's some oil under there. Oh, some lovelies. Oh, this will go nicely with my Art Deco. But let's pretend what I want to talk about now just quickly, because somebody had asked me this, and let's do this. All right, so I'm not going to score these or anything. I'm going to show you though how to get this cut out nicely. So what I do is I find my ruler and I cut out short of the actual window. So you can see here, here's where the window is going to be, more or less. And I'm going to come in and I'm going to leave a little on the inside. Sorry, on really the outside of the hole I'm making, but the inside of the window. It doesn't even have to be straight, but you know how I am. Okay, so just however it works for you. Oops. Now let's do this and get this piece of paper out of our way. And once we've done that, like so, we can take our little chomper, slide it in here, hook it right around that corner, and chop. Now don't worry that it doesn't appear to be lined up. So you do want to try and get it as on the corner, just out, you know, just around that edge. Each one, I can't see this one, there it is. And the last one. Okay, there you go. Now we just line them up and match them up. So what I normally do is I stick my knife into one, like so, and I stick it into the other one so I know where it's going to end up. There we go. And I just take that off and you'll feel it. You'll feel it come off. So I could have been a little closer there, so I can go back and clean that up. But now basically I'm just going to go from this edge to this. Oh, you see how nice that corner is? Oh, where is it? Okay, so that's what we're doing. We're now connecting this arc and this arc. And you can feel it when you're in there. You can feel when you come off the paper. Okay? See how easy that is? And then you wind up with really nice interior rounded corners, which can be a real nightmare to cut otherwise. I think I was a little low on that one. Yeah, a little bit. So now you can go in and you can clean it up even further. So sometimes it's easier to see on the other side. Again, forgive the baby oil, but if you saw the stuff I have now that's translucent, you would forgive me. So now you could just go in and clean that up. Anywhere where you feel like it's a little bit off. And now we have beautiful, lovely corners. The way rounded corners were meant to be. Let me put something under that so you can see it. See that? Perfect. Okay, so I'll show you now how I did the baby oil velluming, and I'll do a quick video on how I sewed my ruffles. And I hope some of this was useful to you and it gave you an opportunity to see the different things you can do with a variety of materials. Again, if you're going to do the baby oil thing, definitely try the printed on one side, printed on the other, because I thought the results were really fun and again, delicate and special. So that's all I've got for you today. I'm back. My hand issue is improved. We don't know why, but we're happy for it. And so I'm ready to start making things again. I mean, physically making things again. It's been really difficult to do that, so I've been doing a lot of just digital design, but now I'm back to making little messes with glue and whatnot. So I'm happy to be here with you. Thank you for being with me, and holler if you have any questions. Remember to go over on Ko-fi. The link will be below, and you can pick up some of this free ephemera, and a lot of other stuff is already there free. Some of it has sold out, but there's plenty if you're looking for some new and different designs to add to your stash. So there you go. Thanks. Go create. Be awesome.